Welcome to the regular meeting of the Cape Coral Youth Council. Today's date is March 13th. The meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Madam Chair, before I call the roll, members Cranford, Ico, Logan, Gwen, Orozco, Rowe, and Russell have asked to be excused, and I will mark them so. Benitez,
Present.
Bradish,
Present.
Dougherty,
Present.
Figueroa,
Present.
German,
Present.
Gorbanovsky,
Present.
Ziegler.
Present.
Okay, 7 present, 7 excused.
Thank you. Just as a point of clarification, this will be a meeting of the committee as a whole, and we will not be able to vote on anything. All right. First up is item 4, approval of the agenda or changes to the agenda. Without any objections, we will now adopt the agenda for the March 13th meeting as presented. Are there any objections? Seeing none. Next is approval of the minutes. No, okay. All right. Item 6, recognitions and achievements. Item 6A, the Youth Council Media Recognition Program ceremony. The Youth Council Media Recognition Program was initiated by the Youth Council in order to give recognition to outstanding members of our community, specifically our youth. This individual will be recognized today as well as throughout our social media platforms. The recipient of the Youth Council Media Recognition Program for February of 2020 is Kim Balch. Kim Balch is a senior at Cape Coral High School, and she is the vice president of her school's student government. She is the president of her school's mock trial team, a delegation treasurer of youth in government, and when she grows up, she wants to be a prosecuting lawyer in juvenile law in order to help lower recidivism rates. All right, Kim Balch, we will now give you your certificate and basically go forward with the ceremony.
I'll wait for them to.
Please state your name clearly for the council.
My name is Kim Balch. May I proceed? I'd like to say thank you for creating a program that recognizes the youth as times like these, it's hard for youth to speak out and participate in the city of Cape Coral especially. And I'd like to thank the council for creating such a program. If anyone has questions for what I do, I'll take them, but I'll take my leave. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, we will be moving forward. Congratulations. All right, so council members, from this point forward, council members should continue distributing the applications, and our next selection will be on April 10th of 2020. All right. Item 7, advisor presentation. Advisors added the topic titled Upcoming Council Report. Therefore, I will now turn the floor over to Advisor Mazurkiewicz for any updates.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This Monday, agenda item will once again be the Tropicana Park. This was put on by Councilmember District 1, Gunter, who had mentioned at prior council meetings about his interest in taking the two clubs or any clubs off of that park. I think Member Ziegler made a presentation at the prior meeting, which I believe had an impact amongst a couple council people, so it will be on the agenda again Monday. It's a discussion item at the end of the meeting. I don't know if they will vote or not. I suspect what is happening is based on the last information that staff shared with the city council at the last meeting when it was an item for discussion, and that was that the staff is continuing to work with the rowing club and trying to get them an opportunity to have at least a preference in scheduling for that park. It's not going to be a lease. Last I heard, it's going to be a preference for scheduling, similar to what our other athletic organizations have with other parks within the city. I've also found online and other resources that the Northwest Neighborhood Association is still opposed to that, and so that they'll probably be here Monday to make their points during citizens input. So if you're available, it would be a good time to come and state your opinion. If not available, please watch so you can see the outcome of what's going to happen there. But know that a couple of council people were impacted by the last time one of your members made a presentation. So it does have an impact on the city council when you guys speak. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Mazurkiewicz. Is there any discussion? Member Ziegler?
I have to say I'm really glad to hear that our voices have an impact on the city council. And I'm especially glad I had the opportunity on Monday to come to the meeting and speak a little bit about the parks in my opinion. And I think just hearing from you that did have an impact is really important for all of us, knowing that what we're doing here is important for the city and we clearly are making a difference. So I think that just shows that we should continue to do as much as we can, not only to benefit the youth population, which is what we're here for, but to benefit the city of Cape Coral for future generations after us. So, thank you.
Thank you, council members. Is there any other discussion? All right, seeing none, we will be moving on to item 8, citizens input. This consists of input of citizens on matters concerning city government. We will give 3 minutes per individual, and council will listen to all speakers and respond after all speakers have made their presentation. I will now read the Pledge of Civility. We will be respectful of each other even when we disagree. We will direct all comments to the issues, and we will avoid personal attacks. Citizens input is now open. Members of the public, please come forward to the podium. Please state your name clearly for the record. All right, seeing none, citizens input is now closed. Next on our business agenda is item 10A, the 2020 Florida League of Cities Community Service Project. This has been a project that we have previously discussed during our meetings, and basically it's about writing an essay to highlight the community service projects that we have done as a council. Therefore, with that said, I will now hand the floor over to Councilmember Bradish.
Hey everyone, okay, so I wrote the essay and I wanted to talk about the Fall Gala. So some things I highlighted was what exactly Blessings in a Backpack was, how it is our legacy organization, and then just the planning process of the Fall Gala as well as how successful we were.
Thank you, Member Bradish. Was that essay on our backup material? It was? Yes. All right. So if you do want to look at it, obviously now we can't, it is the essay that we're going to use because we can't vote on anything, but whenever council members have a chance to look at their backup material and see it, we should do so. All right, is there any other discussion? Point of inquiry, when was the deadline for that project?
I have to have it by February, March 25th.
Yeah.
All right, so is it ready to be put in as of now?
Yes, I have everything I need from Member Bradish. The recommendation letter I will have Councilmember Williams sign, and so we should be good to go.
All right, thank you. So we're doing pretty good with time. All right, oh, and thank you, Member Bradish, for taking this on. Moving forward, junior project, environmental topic, continued discussion. With that said, I will now hand the floor over to Councilmember Doherty.
So to talk about the environmental topic discussion, there's a few. I'm part of the Keep the County Beautiful Youth Council and the Keep America Youth Council, and there's a few, if we wanted to start getting involved with implementing different environmental projects, there's a actual event, the Global Youth Service Day, that's happening at Lovers Key State Park, and it is a global event, and it is one of the global events around the year that is to celebrate kids and youth that are helping back in our community. And last year it had over 100 different volunteers, and they did a lot of different events around Lovers Key State Park. They painted a pavilion, they did trail trimming, planted some trees. So if we wanted to also get a part in that, that would be a great way to also get our name out there, because we're in contact with over 100 youths. Last time there was media coverage, so there will be media coverage if we want to get in part with that. And there's also just a lot of opportunities and ways that they're looking also at beautifying one of the neighborhoods in I don't know exactly what section of Cape Coral it is, but they're also looking at beautifying a section of Cape Coral, which is, I think, another wonderful opportunity that we also could get a part of if we wanted the opportunity to.
Thank you, Member Doherty. As if we were to look at a possible collaboration with Keep the County Beautiful, is there a president of the council or?
Yeah, we have a council, like a youth chair, like we do here, and then also a advisor that I can give the contact information to anybody. I don't know whether I would give it to you or whether I would give it to like Ms. Griglin.
All right, because something that we can do, we can coordinate for next meeting to have them, your advisor and that chair of the council, to come give a presentation about the council, and then we can collaborate with them and kind of discuss specific things that we can do with both our councils in collaboration.
And not only that, if we don't want to just do like the Global Youth Service Day, because that is coming up in like April, if that's like seems too soon for us, we definitely can work with them when they're beautifying the neighborhood, because I feel like it's such a good opportunity and thing that they're doing. They're putting a lot of work and they're getting a lot of volunteers towards that, and there is going definitely a lot of media coverage for that one. So if we want to get our name a part of that opportunity too, I think that'd be a really great way for us to get our name out.
All right, thank you, Member Doherty. So as of now, what we will be doing, if you can possibly send Ms. Griglin that contact information, and then from there we'll decide on how to go so that we can have a presentation made by them. All right, thank you. Is there any member discussion? All right, seeing none, we will be moving forward Wait a minute. All right. The next meeting agenda is item C, the junior project after-school youth presentation. This is a continued discussion from last meetings. Therefore, I will now hand the floor over to Mr. Cagle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I had the opportunity to speak with Cape Coral Charter Superintendent Jacqueline Collins. We do a lot of work with her at the schools. And I explained that we wanted to do some type of after-school project. And then Councilman Member Williams mentioned about middle school, and there was some more discussion about that as well. And she had a suggestion of it. It's a 5th grade accelerated class that's at Oasis, and they are currently working on projects for parks and the environment. And apparently they're very active, and they're very interested in local government. So I thought that would be a very good place to start, a springboard. And so I gave the information to contact Superintendent Collins, and so she's awaiting your call or whoever you want to appoint from the council to reach out to her. But they will work with it. The teacher for the project is Janae Altini, and apparently they are doing a lot of projects, especially environmental projects. So I think it would be a nice fit for the youth council.
Thank you, Mr. Cagle. And I do have the contact information for Mrs. Collins. And in the coming days, I will be calling her, even though I'm not sure when you would want me to call her because it's spring break.
It's up to you. It's her office. I'm not sure if she's going to be there all week. I know they're doing a lot of cleaning and things like that.
Okay.
But if not,
Yeah.
I would just reach out to her, probably leave a message for so she can give you a return call, and I'm sure she'll be checking her messages during the week.
Okay.
But she's
okay.
expecting your call.
All
or
right. So if I
someone
call
from there.
her in the coming days, she won't be surprised.
Nope, she's expecting your call. I gave you your name, and so she's expecting it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any member discussion? Member Ziegler?
I think this is a great concept for a multitude of reasons. Not only do I think it gets our name out there with another group of students and kind of spreads our publicity, I think the government tie-in with their interest in local government and then obviously our interest in local government would provide a really nice jumping board to be able to discuss with them and kind of just form a mentorship with the other students. And I think that's a great opportunity for the council as a whole.
Thank you, Member Ziegler. Is there any other discussion? All right, seeing none. Item 11, next meeting agenda topics. Without any objections, the next meeting agenda topics will be up to the consideration of chair and staff. Any objections? All right, seeing none. We will be moving on to item 12, reports. I will now open the floor to any reports from youth council members, staff, or communications director Mitchinson. Are there any reports? Member Ziegler?
We talked about this at the beginning of our meeting with the upcoming parks discussion at the city council meeting. And again, I just urge you guys, if you have the opportunity and are able to attend, I think it's important since we've discussed that this will affect us and eventually our kids or grandkids. I think it's important that if you can be there, I think it would make a difference.
Thank you, Member Ziegler. Is there any other? All right, Mr. Mitchinson?
So I just wanted to include that in the recent edition of my school's newspaper, they had a topic about the Cape Coral, like 50 years. And I was also able to include something about the youth council in there. So I just wanted to, so that I got our name out in our school paper.
Okay, so, and that's Cape Coral High School's school newspaper?
Yeah.
All right. Can I have an update on our social media? If we've posted anything for the media recognition program or anything lately?
The media recognition program post is going up today because I just got the
Okay.
picture from today. And then I also had an issue with downloading the pictures from the road cleanups from the way that like Outlook like sends them. But I let Ms. Grigland know and she's gonna text me the pictures so I can upload those.
All right, right, so as of now, that's what needs doing. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Member Doherty?
I have a question. If it happens to be that our spring break or school ends up getting canceled for the last part of March, are we going to continue to, are we going to do like a media recognition program for March, or are we just going to do March and April together? I don't.
So seeing as the next date that we have to vote on someone or select someone is April 10th. So we will be looking at, before that date, whatever applications come in. All right, does that answer your question? All right, thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
I would suggest that when that agenda item comes up at your next meeting or at the meeting in April, and if you don't have a sufficient number of applicants, then you just combine March and April together.
Okay,
If you do, you can go ahead and pick one and award.
all right. Is there any other member discussion? All right, seeing none, the time and place of future meetings. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to put one thing out there that Councilmember Rick Williams had asked me to let you guys know. Now, obviously, with everything happening with the coronavirus, this may not happen, but he did wanted to keep it in the back of your minds and maybe put it on your calendar. April the 24th or 25th is what's called the annual Trash Bash. And I guess it's something that the Northwest community has kind of hosted in the past. So there is a good chance that they're going to host it again. Obviously, once again, bearing the stuff though that's happening. But he just wanted to keep that in your mind. If you could just put it on your calendars. I guess it's kind of like similar to what we do with the Adopter Road. But I think they might focus on the areas around the canals and stuff. Once again, they will supply everything, the gloves, the picker-uppers and everything else. And I guess afterwards they do kind of a pizza thing. So something that he just wanted to keep in mind. I know he always tries to, get us out there with any kind of youth-related things. And obviously, once again, it would give you community service hours.
All right, thank you, Ms. Riglin. Is there any discussion? Oh, and just as a point of clarification, the 25th for students at Cape Coral High School is going to be our prom. So. All right. Time and place of future meetings. The next meeting of the Cape Coral Youth Council is scheduled for Friday, March 27th at 3 p.m. in council chambers. Without objections, we will now be adjourning. The meeting is now adjourned.